Arteta keeps on relying on the unreliable, whether it's Granit Xhaka, whether it was Mustafi in the past, whether it was Socrates in the past when Arteta first came into the club, whether it was Rob Holding, whether it's Alex Lacazette. David Luiz. Now at the minute it's Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey is unreliable right now. I don't care about. I'm not one of these players are playing through it. He'll get into form. No.
Yeah.
Sit down until you can get your head screwed on and start performing how you want to perform. Yeah. We've gone through all of this mollycoddling, protection players with Wenger, and it never worked out well. Yeah. Send a message, you are not performing, we're going to give your shirt to someone else. And that should apply to everyone in the squad. The worst thing about yesterday wasn't the subs, wasn't necessarily the timid performance. It was the fact that the minute Granit Xhaka and Kieran Tierney comes back into the squad, what was our main source of attack?
Yeah.
Granit Xhaka to Kieran Tierney to cross into the box.
Yeah.
It has been 24 months.
Yeah, it's just that tactic. It's just I like Kieran Tierney, right? But it's just he crosses from. It's not like they're cutbacks. If it was cutbacks, I would be all for it. But they're just like full on pelting crosses. And when you don't have Lacazette, can't even get into the box. What's the point of him? You're just giving away possession.
And the thing is, it's not Tierney's fault.
No, it's not. No, it's the manager's fault. That's how he's setting up the team. That's how he wants them to play. So, and this is what the most confusing thing is, right? When after the first 3 games of the season, I thought if the manager was going to get sacked, the players wouldn't play for him. They would give up. They would not play for him. After the Norwich game, and the Burnley game, you could tell they were playing for him, right? You can tell that they were still behind him. Yes, they were bad 1-0 results, but you could tell that they were still behind Mikel Arteta. But now they look confused. I can't tell you, if you ask if you ask players what was the game plan going forward, I don't think they'll be able to tell you. It looked confusing to me, so they must be confused as well. And Saka was barely in the game. He's one of our best players, right? And that's not to blame Saka, but that's to blame the system. Lacazette barely in the game. And I just don't know how long I could go on speaking about this Arsenal side and how they play football. This week has been a bad week for the club. Losing to Manchester United when basically we lost against ourselves, and then losing against Everton because we were bad as well. You'd expect that the Manchester United performance was a big kick up the backside. No, it wasn't. It just basically brought out what we know from Arsenal, the worst part of Arsenal. And the game against Southampton will probably be different this weekend because that Emirates crowd will not allow that team to produce that performance. They will get on their backs. And I know the atmosphere around the ground, we've both been to games this season, right? And we know the atmosphere around the ground has been much better than what it was pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
But there is no way that they watch these performances these last couple of games and I'm now thinking, oh yeah, if we go back the team, support the team. No, they will want better, and if they are not performing well, they will call them out for it.
I think the home fans in particular, sorry for cutting you off, home fans are feeling relieved when we win games, not joy.
Yeah,
we feel obviously the happiness that our team won, but it's more so, we've finally done it. We are never comfortable in games. Even probably our most comfortable win this year was what? The 2-0 against Leicester?
The Spurs game, I guess. But
was that comfortable? Second half, we made it difficult on ourselves.
I know, but we were still 3-0 up. I know we made it difficult, but that was at least a game where we scored 3 goals.
Even if we go with Spurs and Leicester, let's say that those two are our 2 most comfortable wins this season, either by scoreline or by performance. Neither of those performances were comfortable.
Yeah, well, yeah, not counting the West Brom under-12s victory, but yeah,
even that wasn't comfortable. The under-12s destroyed us for about 10 minutes to start that game. But no, outside of Carabao Cup, these performances, these victories are not comfortable wins.
Yeah. No, they're not.
I don't know really where we can go from here. Somebody tweeted a stat. Let me get the tweet up now. And I think it's from an account called Jotaro61. It said, just for fun, in 1920, when Arteta took over, 165 points per match. 2021, 1.65, points per match. 1.61 points per match last season. And this season so far, after 14 matches, 1.64 points per match. Okay? That's an average of 1.63 points per match.
Yeah.
If we go by Arteta's average between now and the end of the season, unless he does some sort of miracle, which based on the past three seasons, he's not going to do because there's a consistent sort of number pattern there, we'll be on course to get 67 points this season.
Okay.
That's not good. That's not good enough. And it was worse than that 67 points is worse than what Emery achieved. And he was not good enough either. This is with 150 mil splashed into it. This is with signing a squad or having a squad. Look at that Everton squad yesterday. Only Martinelli, you can comfortably say, was not a Mikel Arteta player. I know he signed a new deal under Arteta, but you can't admit it was at a little bit of a stage where maybe Arteta wasn't really as involved in contract negotiations or as involved as he is now. The rest of that lineup are either players that he decided to sign, Ben White, Tomiyasu, Aaron Ramsdale, Kieran Tierney, new deal at a time where we were desperate for him to sign a new deal and Arteta was using him into the ground. Granit Xhaka, new deal, could have been sold. Lacazette could have been sold. Arteta decided to keep. Ødegaard, signed by Arteta. Saka, new deal. And again, I'm not saying all of these players should have been sold. Players like Saka, players like Barty, stuff like that. I'm not saying they shouldn't have been bought, and I'm not saying that they should have been sold. But these are players that Arteta has decided, I want you in either my squad or starting lineup. So this is his squad now. And you're playing the way that he wants you to play. This team, by now, after 2 years and after 15 games this season, we perform like this at home and away.
Yeah.
And everything that Mikel Arteta says after games is, oh, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't how we want to play. Then they're not listening to you.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Because if it's not your fault and they're not playing how they want you to play, why are you playing players that aren't listening to you? Which one is it?
Yeah. Yeah. And to go back to your point about how many points we would end up at the end of the season, if we finished on 67, we would actually finish fourth this season if it was last season. So Chelsea finished on 67 points last season. But again, it's still not good enough. I mean, we're on what? -5 goal difference. It's the middle of December and we're still on minus goal difference. That's staggeringly bad. Like, I know there are only 4 teams in the division who have a positive goal difference, but still, that's bad. We shouldn't be a part of that, really. And it just goes back to the coach now. I think a lot of people turned on the coach last night, and with good reason, really. It's just like for me, I don't like talking about coaches every single game. For me personally, I would rather be wrong about a coach. So if like I don't believe in a coach, I would rather it be wrong and that coach be good. And I don't want to be like offensive to the coach. I wasn't like it with Emery. I don't think I'll ever be like it. I wasn't like it with Wenger. I don't think I'll be like it with Arteta. But he just concerns me so much that I just don't want him here anymore. And the main reason why I don't want him here, and this is a personal to me, and it might not be personal, it's not even about results, really. It's just about the style of football at the moment. The style of football doesn't look like it could be successful, but you don't have to play successful football if it's fun. If the football's fun, I think most people could get behind it because at least you're watching a fun team. But because the football is not fun and it's
you're not
also
getting
bad,
results.
yeah, and you're not getting results, it's just a double whammy of like a boredom and just apathy. I do not care at the moment enough about Arsenal Football Club to really get angry or invested in the results. I think apathy has been happening a long time at this club. And I think a lot of it, when fans start not going to games at home games, that's when the club act. And the thing is, though, a good manager, like I tweeted this yesterday, the only way Arteta gets sacked from now is if he goes on a horrendous run. So if he loses 5 games in a row or something, and we end up 15th, 16th. And I know that happened last season and people will be screaming saying he didn't get sacked then, but I'm pretty sure if he lost to Chelsea, he would have got the sack. Like, he would have been gone. We have to go on a horrendous run for this club to act. And what would be the ideal thing is we finish, I don't know, 6th in the summer and we say, thank you very much, Mikel, you've done as much as you can. Let's get a new coach in who can take us into the next level. But no, if he finishes 6th at the end of this season, they'll give him a new contract because his contract ends in 2023. So they have to decide now, or in the summer anyway, if they're going to give him a new contract or if he's going to get sacked, or like they're not going to give him a new deal. And they have to start looking forward. Now, I would rather wait until the summer than sack him mid-season because the options in the summer are much more appealing than the options now. If you sack him now, who we're going to get? And Valverde? I mean, he's a conservative coach, really. He's not. He's basically like very, very like Unai Emery, basically. Valverde he reminds me a lot of Unai Emery. I mean, I can't think of anyone else. Big Sam, yeah, what's he doing at the moment?
Well, we play football similar to the quality of Big Sam. So.
Yeah. Well,
to the centre, Shuka is there. Can't get his cross in. Maybe Dixon can.